Most women who feel stuck with money are not stuck because they are lazy or foolish or bad with numbers. They are stuck because of a handful of quiet mistakes, small, almost invisible patterns that drain a life slowly, year after year, while everyone around them keeps saying to just work harder and pray more. And here is the hard part. You usually cannot see your own. They feel normal. They feel like simply how life is. But the Bible, with startling honesty, names these exact patterns in the lives of real people who lost real things, and it shows the way out of every single one. So hear me clearly. This is not a video meant to shame you. It is meant to set you free. We are going to walk through 7 money mistakes that quietly keep Christian women broke, each one written plainly in Scripture, and each one with a way back. One honest word before we begin this is for encouragement and education, not financial advice. Use wisdom and seek good counsel for your own life. Now here is the first mistake, and it is the one that hides the best because it looks like humility. Mistake number 1, burying your gift out of fear. Jesus once told a story about a master who was going on a journey. Before he left, he handed his wealth to 3 servants to manage. To one, he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to the last one, talent. Now do not let that small word fool you. A single talent was an enormous sum by many estimates, around 20 years of an ordinary worker's wages. The Greek word is talenton. Even the servant who got the least was handed a small fortune. The first 2 servants went out, put the money to work, and doubled it. But the third one was afraid, so he dug a hole in the ground and buried his master's money. And when the master returned, that servant proudly handed back exactly what he had been given, not a coin lost, not a coin gained. And he said, "I was afraid, so I hid it." And the master, who had been so generous, called him wicked and lazy, and took even that 1 talent away. Here is what most people miss. The servant's mistake was not that he lost money, it was that he risked nothing and used nothing. His fear looked responsible. It looked careful. It looked almost like humility. I am just being safe. I do not want to mess it up. But under that carefulness was a fear that buried everything God had placed in his hands. And this is the most common money mistake Christian women make, because it wears the mask of a virtue. It is the skill you have never once tried to earn from Makkah, because who would pay me? It is the business idea you have carried in your heart for 5 years and never started, because what if it fails? It is the savings sitting in an account doing nothing, because you are too afraid to learn how to make it grow. It is playing so safe, staying so small, that the gift God gave you never gets out of the ground. And notice one more thing about that master. To the servants who acted, he did not say, "Well done, because you doubled it." He said, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a little." It was never about the size of the return. It was about whether they were faithful with what they held, or frozen by the fear of it. God is not asking you to build an empire this year. He is asking you to be faithful with the little already in your hand, to use it, not bury it. And here is the quiet truth. The woman who starts something small and imperfect this month is already miles ahead of the woman still waiting, frozen, for a moment that finally feels safe enough. That moment never comes. Faithfulness does not start when the fear is gone. It starts now. With the little you have, now hear the way out, because it is freeing. Notice that the master was not angry that the first servants might have failed. He was grieved that the third one never tried. In God's economy, the great risk is not losing what you have. It is burying it. So the fix is not recklessness. It is simply beginning. Take the skill, the idea, the small amount, and put it to work in some small way. This month, sell one thing, start one page, learn one new skill about money. You do not have to double it overnight. You just have to dig it up. The safe hole in the ground was the real gamble all along. Which brings us to mistake number 2. And this one happens in a single, ordinary, hungry moment. Mistake number 2. Trading your future for a moment's craving. There were twin brothers in the book of Genesis, Esau and Jacob. Esau was the older, which in that world meant he held the birthright, the double portion of the inheritance, the family blessing, his entire financial future. One day, Esau came in from the field, exhausted and starving, and Jacob was cooking a pot of red lentil stew. And Esau said, "Give me some of that stew. I am famished." Jacob said, "First, sell me your birthright." And listen to what Esau said. "Behold, I am about to die. What good is a birthright to me?" So he swore it away. And he ate, and he drank, and he went on his way. And the Bible adds one devastating line. Thus Esau despised his birthright. He traded his entire future for one bowl of soup. Not because he was starving to death. He was not, but because in that moment, the craving in front of him felt bigger than the inheritance he could not yet see. Here is the principle, and it is one of the most expensive mistakes in the world. We trade the greater thing we cannot see for the lesser thing we can taste right now. Esau's stew has 1,000 modern faces. It is the impulse purchase at the checkout. It is the sale you could not miss on a thing you did not need. It is buying now and paying later, again and again, until the payments eat your future. It is the lifestyle that creeps up every time your income does, so there is never anything left over. Every one of those is a small bowl of stew, traded for a birthright. And here is the part that stings. Esau did not lose his future in a disaster. He lost it in a moment of appetite. Most women who stay broke do not lose their money in one big catastrophe. They lose it a little at a time, in 100 small cravings that felt urgent and reasonable and harmless in the moment. And there is something almost merciful hidden in how Esau fell, if you are willing to see it. His ruin was not one enormous decision. It was one small, ordinary, forgettable trade, which means the way out is also small and ordinary and completely within your reach. You do not have to overhaul your entire life this week. You just have to win the next small moment. So turn off the notifications that announce every sale. Step back from the accounts that leave you hungry for things you never wanted yesterday. Give every purchase over a certain amount one full day of waiting before you decide, because almost every craving quietly dies overnight. And make your future concrete enough to actually feel a real number, a real goal, a real picture of the woman you are becoming, so that when the stew is steaming right in front of you, the birthright is not a vague idea you can brush aside, but something you can almost hold in your hands. So here is the fix, and it is a habit, not a feeling. When the craving comes, name it out loud. This is a bowl of stew. Then ask one question: what future am I trading for this? And give it time. Almost every craving loses its power if you simply wait a day. Better still, take the choice out of the heat of the moment entirely. Move money into savings automatically. The moment it arrives, before your hungry self ever sees it. Comfort is not evil, but no comfort is worth your birthright. Protect the future you cannot yet see. Now, mistake number 3. And this one is not dramatic at all. It is quiet and slow. and it is probably the most common of them all. Mistake number 3, never saving for winter. The Bible sends us to one of the smallest teachers in all of creation. Go to the ant. It says in the book of Proverbs, go to the ant, consider her ways, and be wise. She has no captain, no overseer, no ruler standing over her. And yet, the passage says, she gathers her food in the summer and stores up in the harvest. The ant does something profound. In the season of plenty, she prepares for the season she cannot yet see. She stores in the summer because she knows the winter is coming. Even though the sun is still warm, here is the mistake. And almost everyone makes some version of it. We spend every dollar the moment it arrives. There is no margin, no reserve, no little pile set aside for the cold that always, eventually, comes. And so when the winter arrives, and it always arrives, in the form of a broken car, a medical bill, a lost job, a sudden need, there is nothing there. And a problem that should have been an inconvenience becomes a crisis. And the crisis becomes debt. And the debt becomes a chain. And I want to say this gently, because it matters. Often the problem is not that a woman earns too little. It is that nothing was ever stored in the summer. The money came, and the money went. And when the cold came, the cupboard was bare. So here is the way out. And it is the ant's way, small and steady. You do not need to store a fortune overnight. The ant does not carry the whole harvest in one trip. She carries one crumb at a time, all summer long. Start with a tiny amount, an amount so small it feels almost silly, and set it aside automatically. Every single time money comes in, build what some people call an emergency fund, and what I would rather call your winter store, because the goal is not to be rich. The goal is that the next cold season does not destroy you. A woman with even a small store in the summer meets the winter with peace instead of panic. And here is a small shift that changes everything. Do not try to save whatever is left over at the end of the month, because there is never anything left over. That is the trap that keeps millions of good women broke. Instead, store first. The moment the money arrives, before you spend a single coin, exactly the way the ant works, the harvest the day it comes in, and not after. Decide on an amount, even a tiny, almost laughable one, and move it out of reach automatically, so that saving is not a battle you have to win with willpower every single month. Willpower runs out. A quiet system does not. The verse makes a point of saying the ant has no captain, no overseer, no ruler standing over her, and she still prepares. She does not need to be forced, because the habit itself does the work. Build the habit, and it will carry you. Be like the ant. Start today, and start small. That leads us straight into mistake number 4. And this one is fueled by something you carry in your pocket all day long. Mistake number 4, coveting what is not yours. After the walls of Jericho fell, God had given Israel a clear command. Everything in the city was devoted to him, and no one was to take any of the spoil for themselves. But there was a man named Achan, and as he walked through the ruined city, his eye fell on something. Listen to how he later confessed it. I saw among the spoil a beautiful robe from Babylon, and silver, and a bar of gold, and I coveted them, and I took them, and I hid them in the ground inside my tent. A beautiful robe. He saw what looked like wealth and beauty. He wanted it. He took what was not his to take, and he buried it in secret. And that hidden greed brought defeat on the whole nation and ruin on his own household. Notice what caught his eye first. Not just gold and silver, but a beautiful garment, the appearance of wealth, the thing that would make him look like someone he was not. And this is the mistake that the modern world has turned into a weapon aimed straight at women. It is the endless scroll of other people's beautiful robes, their houses, their clothes, their vacations, their seemingly effortless lives, and it stirs up the oldest sin in the human heart, covetousness, wanting what is not yours. And so a woman buys the garment she cannot afford to look like a life she is not living, and she hides the cost the way Achan hid his treasure under the tent. In the credit card statement, she does not open. In the debt, no one sees. She is not spending on need. She is spending on comparison. Here is what is so dangerous about it. Achan's sin was hidden, and it grew in the dark. Covetous spending does the same. It hides, it accumulates, and it quietly steals the peace of the whole household. So here is the fix. And it has two parts. The first is to starve the covetousness. Much of what feels like a money problem is really a comparison problem, fed to you on purpose by people who profit when you feel behind. So guard your eyes. Put down the feed that leaves you wanting. Practice naming what you already have and saying thank you for it out loud until enough starts to feel like enough. And the second part is honesty. Achan's ruin came from hiding. So if there is a hidden garment in your tent, a debt, a purchase you have kept in the dark, the way out is not shame. It is to bring it into the light, tell someone you trust, and begin to deal with it honestly. What is hidden controls you. What is confessed can be healed. Let me give you one concrete step. Because covetousness only dies in the light of specifics. Sometime this week, sit down and do the one thing Achan never did. Take everything out from under the tent and look at it honestly. Write down the real numbers. What you actually owe, what you actually have, where the money actually goes each month. It will feel frightening for about 10 minutes. And then something surprising happens. The fear begins to shrink because a number you can see is a number you can fight, while a debt you keep hiding from only grows monsters in the dark. And then, right beside that list, write a second one. The things you already have that you have simply stopped noticing, because gratitude and covetousness cannot survive in the same room. Fill the room with one DAC and the other has to leave. We are halfway through, so let me pause for one thing. If any of these is landing on you, do me a small favor and subscribe. It genuinely helps these truths reach other women who were never taught them. Now, mistake number 5. Mistake number 5. Chasing quick money the wrong way. There is a sharp little story in the book of 2 Kings. A powerful commander named Naaman is healed of leprosy by the prophet Elisha, overwhelmed with gratitude. Naaman tries to load Elisha with silver, gold, and expensive garments, and Elisha refuses every bit of it because the gift of God is not for sale. But Elisha had a servant named Gehazi, and Gehazi watched all that wealth walk away, and something greedy woke up inside him. So he secretly ran after Naaman, lied to his face, invented a story to explain why he suddenly needed silver and 2 sets of clothes, took the treasure, and hid it in his house. He got the quick money, and he lost everything. The very disease Naaman had been healed of came upon Gehazi. Because he grasped for gain through deceit, here is the principle. The desire for money fast, through a shortcut, through a scheme, through a small compromise of your integrity, almost always costs you far more than it pays. And Christian women, especially women who feel stretched and behind, are the exact target of this one. It is the program that promises you will replace your income in 30 days if you just buy the package. It is the investment that cannot lose. It is the opportunity that needs your money today, right now, before you have time to think. It is the small lie, the cut corner, the deal that quietly asks you to trade your integrity for a payout, and it preys on the very thing that makes you vulnerable, your genuine need. So, let me say this as plainly as I can. This is not luck. This is not a trick. This is not a secret shortcut. The wealthy are hiding from you. Real provision is built the slow, honest, unglamorous way with skill, with patience, with work. Over time, if an offer sounds too good to be true, it is. If it needs your money before you can think, walk away and guard your integrity like the treasure it is, because Gehazi kept his silver for about a day and paid for it for the rest of his life. The fast way is almost always the expensive way. So how do you tell an honest opportunity from a trap, especially when you are tired and stretched and the promise sounds so good? Ask a few plain questions and be brutally honest with the answers. Does it need my money right now? This minute? Before I have time to think, or pray, or ask a wise friend? Does it promise a return that no honest work on earth could ever produce? Does it ask me to bend the truth, even a little, to make it work? Any single yes is Gehazi running down that road after the wealth, because real opportunities can wait a day. Real opportunities survive the questions of a wise friend, and real opportunities never ask you to hand over your integrity as the entrance fee. When in doubt, slow all the way down. The scheme is the one that needs your haste. Wisdom is never in a hurry, which brings us to mistake number 6. And this one is the opposite of overspending, which is exactly why it fools so many careful, faithful women. Mistake number 6, hoarding everything out of fear. Jesus told a story about a rich man whose land produced an enormous harvest, and the man thought to himself, "What shall I do? I have nowhere to store all my crops." So he said, "This is what I will do. I will tear down my barns and build bigger ones, and there I will store all my grain and my goods. And I will say to my soul, Soul, you have plenty laid up for many years. Take your ease, eat, drink, and be merry." But God said to him, "You fool, this very night your life will be required of you. And then whose will all this be?" And Jesus ended it with a warning. This is how it is for the one who stores up treasure for himself and is not rich toward God. Now notice, this man was not a wild spender. He was the careful one. He saved, he planned, he built, and yet Jesus called him a fool. Why? Because everything he stored for himself alone. His hand was closed. His barns grew, but his heart shrank. He trusted the barn instead of the God who filled it. And he never once thought of anyone but himself. And this is the quiet mistake of the responsible woman, not overspending. The opposite. It is hoarding out of fear. It is being so terrified of not having enough that you never give, never rest, never enjoy, never bless anyone. Money stops being a tool and becomes a wall you hide behind. And here is the strange thing Scripture keeps teaching. A clenched, fearful grip on money tends to choke the very life out of it, while an open hand has a way of opening things you cannot trace on a spreadsheet. So, here is the fix, and it will feel backward, but it is deeply biblical. Open your hand on purpose. Give something first, before the fear can talk you out of it. Not because giving is losing, but because it breaks the power of fear over your heart, and it reminds you who your provider actually is. Save wisely. Yes, Be the ant. Store for winter. But do not become the rich fool, storing everything for a self that could be gone tonight. The goal was never a bigger barn. The goal was a life that is rich toward God and open toward people. Now, you might be feeling a little whiplash right about now, because only a few minutes ago, I told you to save like the ant. And here I am, warning you not to hoard like the fool. So let me draw the line clearly, because it is a line of the heart, not of the amount in the account. The ant stores so that she and the ones she loves can survive the winter. Her savings serves life. The fool stored so that he alone could sit back and need no one ever again. Not even God. His savings served his fear. Sam action. Opposite heart. So ask yourself honestly, why am I really holding this? If the answer is wisdom and provision and being ready to bless someone, then keep storing with a clear conscience. But if the answer is fear and control and a quiet belief that enough money means you will never have to trust God again, that is the barn talking. Save like the ant. Refuse to become the fool. We are getting to the deepest one. So let me pause once more. Tell me in the comments which of these has surprised you the most so far. And now, mistake number 7, the one that sits underneath all the others. Mistake number 7, letting money become your master. A rich young man once came running to Jesus, and he knelt down, and he asked the question everyone wants. Answered, "What must I do to inherit eternal life?" He was sincere. He had kept the commandments since he was a boy. Jesus looked at him, and the text says, Jesus loved him, and then said one thing, "You lack one thing. Go, sell what you have, give to the poor, and come, follow me." And the young man's face fell, and he went away sorrowful, because the Bible says he had great possessions. Here is the tragedy. He did not walk away because he loved sin. He walked away because he could not open his hand. His possessions did not belong to him. He belonged to them. Money was not his servant. It was his master. And when the master of masters asked him to choose, his wealth had the final word. Jesus said it plainly elsewhere. No one can serve two masters. You cannot serve God and mammon. That word, mammon, is an old word for wealth treated almost like a god, a rival master that promises to keep you safe and quietly asks for your whole heart in return. And this is the mistake underneath every other mistake on this list. It is when your net worth becomes your self-worth. It is when your peace rises and falls entirely with your bank balance. It is when you cannot obey God, cannot rest, cannot be generous, cannot take a step of faith because money says no, and money's no is the only voice you truly obey. You do not have to be rich for this to happen. A woman with very little can be just as enslaved to money as a woman with much, because it is not about the amount, it is about the throne. So here is the way out, and it is the freedom the whole video has been pointing toward. Take money off the throne. Make it a servant again, a tool for providing, for building, for blessing. And put God back in the place money was trying to sit. Hold what you have with an open hand. The way you hold something you know is on loan. Because a woman who has dethroned money is free in a way that no amount of wealth can buy. She can work hard without worshiping the paycheck. She can give without flinching. She can rest. Money makes a terrible master and a wonderful servant. The 7th mistake, and the deepest, is simply forgetting which one it was meant to be. Here is a quiet way to test which one money has quietly become in your own life. Imagine God asks you tomorrow to give a specific amount away. Not all of it, just a real, slightly uncomfortable amount. Now watch what rises up in you. If it is peace and a kind of loosening, then money is still your servant and you are free. But if it is panic and a tightening in your chest and 100 fast reasons why you simply cannot, then listen to that gently, without shame, because that is the rich young man's sorrow, and it is telling you the truth about who is really sitting on the throne. And here is the good news. The young man never stayed long enough to hear. Thrones can be handed back. You do not have to become poor to be free. You only have to open your hand, one finger at a time, until money sits back down below you where it belongs, and God takes his place above it again. So let us bring it home. Here are the 7, quickly, so you can carry them out with you. 1, burying your gift out of fear. 2, trading your future for a moment's craving. 3, never saving for winter. 4, coveting what is not yours. 5, chasing quick money the wrong way. 6, hoarding everything out of fear. And 7, letting money become your master. Now let me leave you with 3 things to carry out of here. The first is this. Most of these mistakes are invisible while you are making them. They feel normal, or careful, or even humble. So the single most powerful thing you can do is simply see them. Awareness is already half of the freedom. The woman who can name her mistake is no longer helplessly controlled by it. The second is about grace. And please hear it. Not one of these mistakes is beyond repair, and not one of them is a reason for shame. Every person we walk through was a real human being who got it wrong. And the Bible tells their story not to condemn them, but to warn us and to point the way home. So if you saw yourself in 3 or 4 or all 7 of these, you are not broken. You are awake now, and awake is exactly where change begins. And the third, this is the one I want you to feel. Every one of these mistakes is really a symptom of one thing: money sitting in a place it was never meant to sit, above your future, above your peace, above your generosity, above your God. Put it back in its proper place, under your feet and in your open hands. And most of these mistakes lose their grip on you all at once. Money makes a terrible master, but it makes a wonderful servant. So let me ask you, of these 7, which one did you not even realize you were doing until right now? Be honest. There is no shame in this space. We are all learning. Tell me below, and tell me which one you are going to face first. If this sets something free in you today, subscribe and stay with us, because we are walking through the wisdom hidden all through Scripture, one truth at a time. Until next time, be wise, be free, and go in peace.